Usually, before I go shaking my tits for the press, I like to go see how the professionals do it. Some might say the chief of police has no business in an institution like this, but in fact it's the quietest and safest place in town. You won't run into any reporters, nobody gets into any fights, nobody drinks too much, nobody even raises their voice. The place is owned by an elderly gentleman who knows how to keep things under control. That's why I never invite my friends here. I wanted to make an exception for my 60th birthday, but most of my colleagues are young enough to be my sons, and they'd rather just hire prostitutes. Why stare at some boobs when you can take the whole package for yourself? But there's none of that in our club. Even looking too long is considered indecent. You can get an occasional glimpse, like by accident. The rest of the time you just pretend that you're immersed in conversation, or just come by for a drink. Doesn't mean these gentlemen wouldn't want their bald heads smothered in tits. It's just that nobody says it out loud. My younger colleagues might call it hypocrisy, but I call it the good old-fashioned manners. Good manners and leave the rest unsaid. She agrees to unbutton her blouse, and we agree not to pay too much attention. The girls are on a quiet prowl, too. They're looking for a way out of their cramped rooms. Maybe make friends with some wealthy patron with a pacemaker and dentures. Everybody wants something. But we have to control ourselves, or we'll all turn into libertines and prostitutes. Hell, if there weren't any rules, I'd be belching and farting, jumping up on the table, arms held high, yelling, "Shake it, baby!" No idea how I got so barbaric.
Hey guys, and welcome to This is the Police. This is the Police is a game I'm very excited for because it's a game like Papers, Please. There's the game itself, but there's an underlying morality which you're pondering. The game is set in a corrupt and kind of dangerous city where everything is spiraling downwards. We are the police chief and we are controlling our officers, and we have to make the decisions what are either right for the city or right for ourselves. Or we retire poor, or we retire with a nice stack of bills at the end of the day. So, without any more interruptions, let us start the game. So I did play a little bit just to get an idea of how the game worked. So, day 1, July 15th, Monday. So every morning, we're going to get some information about what's happening in the city. So, is the mayor a sex maniac? That's us. It's rumors that we're resigning. And Mark Wartude will be shown in Freeburg the day before we're up here, thanks by the mayor's personal request. Let's head to work. So we're going to be greeted by this cutscene every day. I think it's just to show us that we're in an old car that won't barely start, and we have to slowly get our way to work. And
When I was a kid, my father sometimes told me at bedtime that if I closed my eyes and didn't open them for a long time, all the demons would blow away. Yesterday I turned 60, but I still take his advice. Not because I'm sentimental or want to keep the memory of my father alive. I just can't think of a better solution. To get away from all the demons that haunt Freeburg, I'd need to wear a blindfold 24/7. Plus, it's a good idea to act blind when talking to reporters. At least that's what my colleagues say. They're afraid of press conferences. But for me, it's more like a confessional. No matter what lies you tell, you're privately thinking the honest answers. It helps me remember who I am. The fact that I'll be reading all about it in the papers tomorrow is a small price to pay. Call it penance for the preacher. This is the first time I'm afraid of those answers my mind has given me. Not because I'm mad I'm losing my job. Though it's true, I'm mad as hell. Not because I subconsciously blame everyone else. Though I damn sure do blame them. And don't even ask me what my next move is. I can't imagine. But even that doesn't scare me. The worst thing is, I know I'm gonna have to do something. And I'll be damned if I know how far I'll go. I may have a lot of vices, but predictability isn't one of them. I learned a long time ago how to drive away the swarming demons. But what do you do when they're trying to rip your soul from your skin? Shutting my eyes tight as I can. The best solution remains the same. Play blind. I just hope the reporters think I was blinded by the camera flash.
So we're alluding to the fact that we were fired, as the new paper shows us. So we're going to have to talk at our own press conference here. Yesterday, the mayor's office announced your resignation. This come as a surprise, or did you know about it in advance? Gotta remember that all this stuff's getting back to the mayor. So we're going to try to be as good as possible, because we don't want them, we pretty much want to stay in the mayor's good books in case we want to pull some shenanigans later. So Mayor Rogers told me that the first face running Freeburg PB, so no, it didn't come as a surprise. Do you know the name of your successor? And we're just going to say, I think it'll be a department veteran. We don't know, but it seems an easy question. So I think it'll likely be one of my current employees. After recent corruption scandal, your deputy, Francis Kendrick, said he is looking forward to resigning. Mayor often in prison with changed his mind. We don't want to say anything, we just want to say, perhaps. Sounds possible if he thinks the new office would serve city a little longer. Although Kendrick was acquitted, many still believe that the police are cooperating with the mafia. Do you have anything to say about this? To say, I don't know. I've never worked in the mafia, but I can't speak for every man and woman in the department. Can't follow all my employees around the clock. Do you think your personal relationship with the mayor could be behind your retirement? I'm just going to say, possibly. Again, wishy-washy. We don't want to get the mayor on our bad side. It's often difficult to say what guides policy decisions. And then they said thank you. So I think we made it through that interview quite easily.
Today, Mr. Boyd.
Same as usual.
How did the press conference go?
You can read about it in the newspapers tomorrow. Don't let anyone in.
Even Mr. Kendrick?
Especially Mr. Kendrick.
Really good sound effects in this game, I found, and the voice acting is spot on. Also, I'm not going to be trying to talk over too many of the cutscenes, because there's probably a lot going on. Gives you an idea of Jack's character.
As soon as I heard the door creak, I knew what face I'd see. When I tell Emma not to let anyone in, there's only one man it could be. Rude, arrogant, no warning. That's Mayor Rogers in a nutshell. White summer shoes, white socks, white shorts, white polo shirt, and the white smile of a hungry shark. Mayor Rogers enters every room like he owns the place. Even the floorboards under his feet sound like they're creaking an apology. He never shied away from the odd corruption scheme. It's like the devil walks behind him. In the movies, the villains controlling the city play golf with the judges. Rogers plays tennis with them instead. That's about the only difference.
Jack, I was hoping to catch you after the press conference. You ran away so quick.
There's no smoking at City Hall. No reason for me to hang around.
Well, this morning I signed a ban on smoking in all public buildings. Soon you won't be able to smoke here either.
Soon enough, I won't be here at all.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. The people of this city like you, Jack. The police chief of all people. Don't betray that, Jack. Don't get wrapped up in any schemes. Sit nice and quiet for the next 180 days, and you'll be remembered as a hero. That's the only thing that you still have left. Be the hero.
Then how am I supposed to scrape together a retirement fund?
You had a million chances to secure a luxury pension, one that even I would have envied, although I've never set aside any money for myself. I'm not planning to retire anytime soon. "180 days of quiet, Jack. That's all I need. I don't have any problems with you, and you won't have any problems with me. I have a new assistant, Troy Starr. If you have something to tell me, call him. But try not to bother him. He's a busy man."
I'll do my best.
"And quit smoking up the office. One of my friends will be using it soon."
I'm sorry, babe. Only the mayor has this number. Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, is this Troy Starr?
Yes?
Go fuck yourself, Troy Starr.
This still gets me, that's funny. So as we know, the mayor does not like us, and we do not like the mayor. So, head of culture department owns villa in Italy. Civil servants' wages won't be raised this year. Cleanness of city and streets increased by 20%. This is the one that shows you that there's corruption in the city. Or at least gives us an illusion to. In a normal city, that might not be the case, but here it most definitely is.
Cops don't use the police station cafeteria anymore. There's some kind of stigma against sitting shoulder to shoulder with your partners. Everybody just takes snacks from the machines or grabs a meal and hammers it down in the corner like a vulture on a corpse. The main thing? Don't look into anyone's eyes. Could be construed as an invitation to sit together. The only people eating here are ghosts. My deputy, Francis Kendrick. He recently became one of those ghosts. The subject of one of the most devastating corruption scandals in the history of Freeburg. No evidence to support the accusations, but everyone knows Kendrick's days are numbered. I need that file I asked for. Needs to be ready tonight. Francis didn't say anything, but I understood. Ghosts aren't supposed to talk. Besides, I got a feeling he was already finished.
So, I'm going to show them what you got, because I've only played about the first 4 days. But I'll explain to the stuff the best I can. It's pretty basic. So there's 2 shifts. You can move officers around shifts. Officers have characteristics. They have their professionalism, which is pretty much how good they are at their job and how reliable they are. High is good, low is bad. We have energy. You can ask officers to work overtime. If you make them work too much overtime, they won't be as reliable. So you generally want to have your people full energy unless, well, there's a reason I'll talk about later. There's also hidden characteristics that you'd have to guess. Some people are lazy, others drink too much. Kind of have to figure those out on your own. So this is our shift. Right now we can't really move anything around. We also have detectives every day as well. So let's get started in our first day. So you have to try to combine people, good people with, I don't know, less good people, to really put it lightly. So we're just going to talk about the further away something is, the longer it will take. So this is quite far away. So difficulty. The number of officers generally determines the difficulty. It's not always the case, but for the most part will be the case. This is quite a far run away, so I'm gonna send Tsubaki and yeah, saw a man drop back over a homeless man. It's quite far away, so I don't know if we'll catch him. Do I want to send Austin or Price? I guess I could send Austin. We want to try to not send Price early on, because Price is a horrible police officer. She's pretty much ready to retire. Last picture show. Theater man's report that showing a citizen can drug man attempt to force his way into the theater carrying a snowbud desert with the word Rosebud. When he denied entry, he violently attacked the cashier and curiously fighting with the security guard. So this is a hint that you're going to have a good chance to arrest him. So I'll send Purdy and Yancey. I actually should have sent one of my better officers here, but that's fine. I could have sent like Yancey and Austin, and then here I could have sent Purdy and Tsubaki. So, and every time you do it, you'll get a report. Everything goes on, cops come and no one dies. Truth is, sometimes criminals escape, so you can have dead cops, and a lot of things happen, but the offender was caught. Which is perfect. Poor cops will often have low success rates. So the fight. Officer caught. Every time you successfully do something, they will gain professionalism. If they fail a mission, they will lose professionalism. Except for in the cases where nothing can happen. So we can wait for someone. Detainers and made off with the whole collection of adult movies. Criminals fled in a car, but the manager wrote down the car's license plate. The owner is Janet Brown, who lives in the suburbs. So we have so long to respond to this. What we can do is we can wait for Tsubaki, and we'll send Kochi and Tsubaki. They had a shotgun, so we want to try to respond with more experienced officers. And again, we don't want to send Price if we can help it. Ooh, fight! Brother and sister clash each other, or the deceased father's will. According to one lawyer, we don't dare separate him, and our security guard is off duty. So, once we send Yancey and Austin, that way if we really need to send someone, we'll still have Purdy. So yeah, ghetto. Passed by, saw some tears, stacked an elderly musician to run with his guard and his money. May as well send Purdy and Price, even though like I'm not happy sending Price. We'll do so. I hope the music isn't too loud. I didn't think it was too loud before, but it sounds a little bit loud to me. So maybe a little loud. I'm sorry about this. I asked anyone at 70, but when I click, see it? It's clicking it down one. Now it's 80. See, if I set to 70, it clicks down. That's really weird. But anyway. So, armed robbery. When your cops are sure on stuff, they may contact you and ask how to handle the situation. Tell whatever it deals, but don't waste your time and stuff. You'll play with problems on your plate. So, I actually did this one already. Vehicle in question parked beside the Brown residence. Sound and moaning and loud laughter can be heard through the living room window. So, we can turn on siren and say the house is surrounded. We can sneak through an open window. This is a bad idea. If they shotgun, we don't want to sneak in. We're just going to knock on the door and say, open up. It's the police. Although it sounds forward, you're giving them kind of notice with the shotgun, but I don't think they're going to shoot you unless they're surprised. So you really got to think of it before you murder someone, where if you sneak in, there's a higher chance. So Yancey and Austin got the offenders as well. So that's doing really good. We've caught every offender today, but Price could easily screw something up. So, yeah. So, Purdy took a hit to her professionalism. Price is a problem child. However, you're better off sending 2 people than 1, because a person who's sent alone can always have problems. So once this curtain closes, nothing else will happen in the day. So you can still respond to anything that needs to be done. Officers return, but nothing else interesting. So it's good play if you need some extra hands. So this is our shift A. This is the shift that will be coming in. We can bring in some of these people. Just click and order to work tomorrow. We have, what's it, 7? So, since we have 7 people, we don't need extra hands, and it will tire out our people. So, don't really need to do that. We're just going to end the game, end the turn.
Used to be, when I asked Kendrick to stay late at the office, he liked to grumble and crack wise. Nowadays, he doesn't have the strength for it. Slumped shoulders, blank stare, wrinkled skin. The past few weeks, I don't hardly recognize my old friend. In his younger years, he reminded me of a gallant royal officer in an old Kipling story. Kendrick isn't just crumbling under the weight of the public pressure, but from the shame of it all. Internal Affairs raided the library he inherited from his grandfather, hoping they'd find buckets of cash stashed in the pages. Heard about the look on his face, the fearless policeman standing helpless in horror. I've known Francis for 30 years. The past 20 years he's played loose with the law. And I know that at a certain point every stolen dollar brings more misery than anything else. Probably sounds crazy, but I sympathize with the guy. What can I do? Your friends are your friends, and these are the waters we swim in.
Called all of the people on that list today. Now they know you're in business, so you could get a call from any of them. You don't need to worry about any of them. I've cleared them all.
And what kind of business are we talking here?
It's nothing too serious, just like you asked. Should be just a few small favors. Payments will vary depending on the situation and who you're dealing with. How much are you looking to earn?
$500,000.
$500,000? Why not a whole million?
Because everybody wants to take $1 million. Figured I'd try something different.
$500,000 in 180 days? Well, you could earn it all above board if you netted all the big fish and hit all your bonuses.
Never knew you for a fisherman.
Well, you never got into my business, and I'm not trying to get into yours. But be careful about bringing in any other cops. Sooner or later, they'll put the finger on you. And one more thing, Jack. I remember what you said, but I should probably add one more name to that list. Christopher Sand.
Sand.
Mafia, I'm guessing.
Christopher G. Sand. Everyone knows the name, but few could tell you who he is. The old man stays away from the spotlight. Always wears old-fashioned jeans and knitted sweaters. Gives to charity. Rarely attends social events. An avid hunter, I hear. Even dabbles in poetry. You'd never guess he's the head of the oldest and most powerful gang in the city. Goes back as far as his great-grandfather. And Sand is strict about following the old rules. He rarely involves himself in commonplace murders and robberies. Hardly needs to intimidate anyone to get his point across. The people who work for him each have their sphere. They provide protection where needed, even work with the authorities when they want to make a deal. Meanwhile, Sand pulls the strings without getting his hands dirty. People sometimes mistake his quiet approach. A couple years ago, an arms dealer decided to expand its business without asking permission, and his whole family paid the price. In 4 weeks, Sand killed 31 people. Old men, women, even a few teenagers. And Sand's people made sure every paper reported it. Frank, I don't want to hear you say that name again.
Jack, please, listen to me. I'm in with these guys.
We agreed, Frank. That's not the kind of business I'm into. I don't go there. Never have, never will.
So now we're getting into the dirty business. But anyway, guys, we've done the first 2 days. We've kind of got an introduction to the game. So the next episode, we will start day 3. Thanks, guys. Later.